Every cloud has a silver lining. That's our idiom, our proverb for today. It is actually attributed to John Milton in his poem in 1634 called Comus. And I remember it very vividly throughout my life, but also from the series Thomas the Train. My son was an avid Thomas the Train watcher and follower, and he had a giant train set, and we did all kinds of fun train things. But Thomas the Train, that message came up. I think I don't remember. We watched all the seasons, but it was definitely one of the episodes was about every cloud having a silver lining, meaning bad things can happen, but on the other side of anything that happens, good or bad, there's always a silver lining. It's like when you're flying in an airplane and it's kind of rainy and cloudy when you take off, and then you bust through the clouds. When the airplane busts through the clouds, you see that the sun is shining on the other side of those clouds. The sun is always shining, no matter how gray or cloudy the sky looks. It's always out there shining down on us, whether we remember it or not. I think the key is to remember that it is always shining, that it's always up there, meaning that no matter what we face, no matter what difficulty, no matter what challenge, no matter what problems or situations or experiences that we think are negative we find ourselves in, there's always a light at the other side of that. There's always a lesson to be learned from every person, every experience, every place, everything that we happen to encounter as we're going through our little journey on this planet called life. Now, with respect to our businesses and growing our businesses, if you've been in business for any amount of time, you've probably already discovered for yourself that every cloud does have a silver lining. Every problem has a solution. Every dilemma has a response and an answer to it. We're never really stuck. Sometimes we feel stuck, and it takes us a little while to come up with the solution or allow ourselves to see the solution. But there's always something that we can do about everything. And usually we end up better off than before we had that challenge. If we learn the lesson from every encounter we have, we will end up better off than had we actually not had that experience or that encounter. Our journey is what molds us into the person that we're here to be, that we're here to become. And sometimes it's fun and pleasant and awesome, and we see the blessing right off the bat. Other times, other experiences we have, not so much. We've all had those experiences where when we're in it, it sure doesn't feel like it's going to work out. But then when it does, when we have our resolution, when we have that breakthrough, when the project succeeds, when we get that new client, whatever it is, no matter how much work and how much hard effort we had to put into it and energy, we finally bust out and we see that the sun is shining and that we are moving in the direction that we want. I think of it as my closest thing is to building a business is having and raising a child. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of hormones and a lot of emotion and a lot of craziness involved. But it's always worth the effort, no matter how much effort, no matter how many challenges our children put us through. It's totally worth bringing amazing human beings into the world and onto the planet. So, love to know your experience with this. Every cloud has a silver lining. I think it's our choice to look for the positives and the negatives in any situation. It's always our decision how we're going to see the experiences that we have. We can look back on our life and we can think how awful it was and how terrible all the experiences were, or we can be a person that looks back on a very similar life and says, well, yeah, that kind of stunk, but here's the things that I learned from it. I'm a much stronger person. I'm a much wiser person. I'm a much more intuitive person. I've been through a lot of pain, but that helps me to help other people get through the pain. Things like that. So as long as we learn the lesson, I think that we are fine. I think it's an expression that's used often to encourage people as they're going through difficult times and challenges. And all of us have gone through a whole lot of interesting changes and challenges since COVID-19. It's coming on a year now, almost a year. In the next couple of weeks, we are going to hit that. I don't know what we're doing or when we're calling our COVID anniversary, but I call it, March. I want to say March. I'm going to say March 13th is my COVID anniversary, when we knew it really was hitting. I think it was more like the 11th, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was the second week of March. I know that, when all the hit the fan, at least where I live. So every cloud is a silver lining. What are some of the lessons learned in the silver linings you've had or experienced with your business and with your life? If we focus on the things that are working, the blessings, the things we can do, everything appears to have a silver lining because the sun is shining right on the other side of everything. All right, have an amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business and your life right now? Take care. Bye.